Hey guys, what's cooking? I'm gonna tell you. Today we are doing some buffalo chicken. Okay, so I had to use up the rest of my chicken. What I'm using is a little less than what this recipe calls for. So this recipe calls for 8 drumsticks. I'm using 6. Okay, so first things first, since it doesn't take long to mix all these ingredients, I would suggest preheating your oven right now. You're going to set it to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Your ingredients is 8 drumsticks, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then a little salt and pepper to just sprinkle on. We have some more ingredients after, but it's for the sauce, so we'll mention that one when we're ready to do the sauce. So this is the ingredients we're working with right now. So first thing here is you can go get yourself a baking pan so that is all set up for when you're ready to start piling on your chicken over there. Of course, wash your hands before handling food. Rinse your chicken and then pat dry with a paper towel. And you're gonna mix your oil, chili powder, your garlic powder, and your salt and pepper in a medium bowl or a resealable plastic bag. As you can see, I just chose to put it in the bag and I shook it around, and yeah, it's good enough. These are easy ingredients to mix, so you don't necessarily need a spoon for it. So now you're going to toss your drumsticks in the mixture that's in your bag or your bowl. So pop it onto a baking sheet and you're going to throw that sucker into the oven for 50 minutes. One thing I will mention here is that coating my 6th drumstick was a little less coating, we'll say. So this worked out fine for me because I was doing 2 drumsticks less. But since the 6th one had less, I would double this mixture, which I will double in the description. So what it says in the description will be the proper ingredients. So at this point, you can just kind of go do whatever. You don't need to mix the next batch of sauce, which is our spicy sauce, for a while because your chicken's going to be in there for 50 minutes. And we're going to bake a little extra afterwards with putting the spicy sauce on. So yeah, you don't have to come back early or anything. Like 50 minutes is what you want your chicken baking at. I came back halfway through though to just kind of turn them. So you could do that. Turn them at the halfway mark. 50 minutes later, we're back and we're making our spicy sauce. So the spicy sauce is really easy. 1/4 cup of butter. You can choose unsalted. I really don't care when it comes to my butter. Like, I don't even use the butter. I use margarine. 1/4 cup, or if you're using those sticks of butter, it's half a stick. And just melt it up a bit. And then you're going to throw in some hot sauce, 1/4 cup. I chose Frank's hot sauce. I'm a big fan of it. I didn't realize we were getting low on this one. So it's actually a mixture of 2 different types of hot sauce. But you can just choose one hot sauce and make it 1/4 cup. And then you're going to want 1 tablespoon of BBQ sauce. You can just mix that in a small bowl because, that doesn't equal a whole lot of ingredients, so you don't need anything major. So now you're just going to toss the drumsticks in the spicy sauce. You can pour it on as well if you prefer. That's what I did because I really didn't feel like picking up hot, been in the oven for 50 minutes drumsticks and toss them in a bag. My hands are a little sensitive. I'm not one of those cooks that can touch super hot food and their hand doesn't feel like it's burning because they're used to it. Yeah, I haven't burnt my hand too many times. So, when I do, I definitely feel it. I just poured it on and then I turned them and poured more on. So totally up to you. You can pop it in your mixture and put it back on the tray, or just, do it right on the tray. Obviously it's gonna be a little bit more of a mess, but I've never really cared of how messy the trays get because I'm no stranger to soaking, pots and pans, right? So I always soak them after, and then they're super easy to clean. And you are going to place your drumsticks back in the oven, same temperature, for another 10 to 15 minutes. So my goal here was some hot, drumsticks, and they were hot, but not too hot. So they were perfect for me because I like hot food, but I don't like to be burning my tongue eating it. So this was just kind of the perfect level. But if you're sensitive to hot foods and you don't want spicy and you want just maybe a more milder sauce, this is what you can do. You could add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, which probably sounds really weird, but I'm Canadian. We add maple syrup to everything, right? A teaspoon of hot sauce. Add a zest of lime, a clove of garlic, and then some salt and pepper, and that'll make your sauce a little milder if that's what you're after. And and then 10-15 minutes later, you come back and you're eating. Well, you might want to wait a bit. The chicken is pretty hot. I usually do some rice and veggies, but it was kind of late at night when I did this video, so I was a little too lazy to do veggies. We'll just say that. So I did up some rice and just had the chicken with some rice, which is honestly the perfect combination anyway. And yeah, it was a really yummy. This was dinner for 3 days for me. I'm not a huge eater, but I wanted to get rid of all the rest of the chicken that I had. And so for 3 days, I just had 2 drumsticks and some rice. And that was perfect because, I didn't have to cook for 2 extra days. So yeah, I like cooking, but I also like not cooking, I like cooking, I just don't want to cook every single day. So these were really delicious. Another great way to serve your chicken drumsticks. And that calls it for today's video. So have a great one. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay cool. I know it's going to be super hot this weekend, depending on where you are, but where I'm at, it's calling for really hot weather all weekend and into next week. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.